Syracuse University, it's time for the past to meet the present. Welcome to episode 4 of Alumni Alley. Charlie Goldberg here alongside my co-hosts Lily Evans and Lily. Well, pun intended, tonight's episode is rich in content.
Well, Charlie, I think that pun was definitely intended because tonight you'll be interviewing ESPN play-by-play announcer Rich Hollenberg.
You got me there, but that's not the point. The point is tonight we're going to be interviewing somebody who is an absolute great in their profession.
It should be amazing, but before we meet the sportscaster, we'll be learning about Syracuse's own sports star, lacrosse player Katie Rowan, with reporter Maura Vaughn.
In the lacrosse world, Katie Rowan has become a household name for many aspiring female athletes and Cuse lacrosse fans. And as a kid looking to start lacrosse with a family who were huge Syracuse lacrosse fans, I was told from a very young age that to watch out for Katie Rowan because one day she was going to be big. And boy was my family right, with Katie Rowan becoming Syracuse's all-time leading scorer for the women's lacrosse, with 232 goals and 164 assists. She is a 3-time All-American and played for the national lacrosse team, becoming a gold medal Olympian, and she now serves as the head coach for the University of Albany's women's lacrosse team. And with all of these accolades, it is only right that last year, Katie Rowan's lacrosse number 21, was to be retired in the dome rafters. What is so significant about Rowan's lacrosse number being retired is that it is the second female athletic jersey to ever be retired at Syracuse. And Rowan said during the ceremony, "I hope this is just the beginning of women and female athletes getting recognized in this way, not only at Syracuse, but across the country in different institutions. In a world where female athletes are still trying to gain every day some respect, she is helping female athletes gain that respect and appreciation throughout the country." On the field, Rowan was notoriously known for somehow managing to see the plays the opposing team were running in her head before they actually occurred. And it was known that as soon as Katie got the ball, magic was going to happen. With her jersey now forever up in the rafters, Rowan's legacy will go down in Syracuse history, inspiring many more generations of young female athletes to follow. Charlie and Lily, back to you guys.
Wow, thanks, Maura. Call me inspired.
Absolutely. And guys, be sure to stay tuned to Alumni Alley, as after the break, our alumni reporter Ariana Mintz is here to talk all about Broadway star Jessie Mueller. All that and more coming up next.
Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my beard ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. But no way he's grown that in a week ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. That one. The itchy ones. The never forgotten ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The started late ones. The absolutely filthy ones. The drawn-on ones, the finger ones, the pin ones, the I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
Welcome back to Alumni Alley, where we'll be giving you guys trivia questions based on our show's guest. Tonight's question is, which of the following MLB teams has Rich Hollenberg worked for the longest? Is it A, the Tampa Bay Rays, B, the New York Mets, C, the New York Yankees, or D, the San Diego Padres? Stay tuned as we'll reveal the answer later on in the show. And from trivia to the Tonys, we're going to learn all about SU alum and Broadway star Jessie Mueller with our alumni reporter Ariana Mintz. Ariana, it's so lovely to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here.
So Ariana, I'm dying to know, who exactly is Jessie Mueller?
Well, Jessie Mueller's not only an SU alum, but a very successful actor as well. Mueller took the stage by storm in her Broadway debut in 2011. She starred as Melinda Wells in On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. She was also a Tony nominee for the show as Best Featured Actress in a Musical. From there, she's been in countless shows such as Nice Work If You Can Get It, Waitress, and The Carousel, just to name a few.
Wow, Ariana, it sounds like Jessie certainly has quite the resume, and I'm sure that coming to SU has a lot to do with that. So I'm wondering, when and how was her college experience here?
Yeah, well, Mueller graduated from the Syracuse University Theater program in 2005. This is where she really grew as a performer. After graduation, she moved back to Illinois before making Broadway her new home.
That is so amazing. So we heard all about Jessie's past. Tell me, what exactly is she up to today?
Well, Mueller's currently starring in The Minutes as Miss Johnson. The play was written by award-winning Tracy Letts. This Pulitzer-winning Broadway play tackled the greed and hypocrisy found in local politics. Miss Johnson is a council clerk for a big town in Cherry in the play.
Thank you, Ariana, and be sure to not go anywhere just yet because we will be speaking with Rich Hollenberg after the break.
Let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go. Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. Yeah! Oh, I thought you were on my team. Wait.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Alumni Alley, and now it's time to reveal the answer to tonight's trivia question. The question was, which of the following MLB teams has Rich Hollenberg worked for the longest? The answer is A, the Tampa Bay Rays. And now let's bring it over to my co-host, Charlie, with tonight's interview.
Welcome back to Alumni Alley, and right now it is my honor to welcome our guest at this time. Three-time Emmy Award-winning sportscaster and correspondent for the Tampa Bay Rays with the MLB. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Rich Hollenberg. And I'm here with Rich Hollenberg. Rich, such an honor to have you on Alumni Alley. And before we get into all of your accomplishments over your career, I gotta say, one thing that I truly admire about you is the fact that, just like myself, you are a true Syracusean. You bleed orange. Tell me, what was your experience like at SU?
Well, just so everybody who's watching and listening to this knows, I was not prepared for how you were going to introduce me, Charlie. I am a Syracuse alum. That's why I'm on the show. But as proof that I am following through on what you just said, I am wearing my Syracuse socks right now. Getting ready for a game tonight on ESPN2 in the Big 12, but I will always be a Syracuse Orangeman for sure.
So is that some sort of game ritual you have? You wear like a piece of orange maybe for good luck before you go on the mic?
No, I mean, you know what? It's funny. I have a couple of orange ties and I'll wear them from time to time. But more than anything, Charlie, I have to be careful that no team that I'm covering has orange in their uniforms at the time I'm wearing an orange tie, because you know how bananas college sports fans are. Immediately, half of the people watching are going to think that I'm rooting for the team wearing orange when it has nothing to do with the team. It's just that I'm trying to show a little sign of my loyalty to Syracuse. So I usually actually avoid wearing orange as best I can, but socks, no one sees except for you now.
Well, absolutely, and don't worry, this won't be aired anywhere until you're done calling play-by-play tonight for Iowa. And at the time of filming, you are calling a big game tonight. Let's talk all about that.
Well, tonight it's on ESPN2, 9 o'clock Eastern. It's another gauntlet of a trip for any team on the road in the Big 12. In this case, it's West Virginia at Iowa State. And this time of the year, everybody's paying attention to what we call Joey Brackets is saying. That's Joe Lenardi, our resident bracketologist at ESPN. And if Iowa State wants to avoid playing in the play-in games in the Big 12 tournament next week in Kansas City, they need to win tonight.
Before you made it to Iowa, you were at Syracuse, as per mentioned. And really circling back to our first question, what was your experience like at SU?
It was everything, honestly. I go back on a daily basis and still reference things that I learned, that I practiced, that I talked about in my time at Syracuse. And my time at Syracuse was now 3 decades ago. It goes by in a flash. But there are still the basics, the fundamentals, the foundation that I have built my broadcasting career on was built at Syracuse in the hallowed halls of Newhouse. And certainly there are buildings that I didn't step foot in because they're new since I've graduated from there. But literally and figuratively, Newhouse School has been everything to me. Now it's more the Newhouse Mafia that I lean on. The friends that I've made, the colleagues that I have in the business and in the industry are invaluable to me. And one quick anecdote to that, Charlie, to show that there is an actual proof that the Newhouse Mafia looks out for you. My first and second jobs in television came directly because of my relationships at the Newhouse School.
That's incredible. And I'm only about halfway done with my Newhouse experience. And I've got to say, the things I've learned, the people I've met, I love it here. I don't see myself anywhere else. I ED'd, and from like my freshman year of high school, I knew that I wanted to end up here. And from one Newhouse person to another, it's absolutely not surprising to hear what you're saying. And with all that being said with Newhouse, tell me about some of the skills and really some of the main things that you've taken away from your experience that you've brought into your broadcasting career.
Yeah, that's a good question, Charlie. And the first thing I go back to is how critical and important writing is to being a broadcaster. And most people would kind of roll their eyes at that idea or assumption, because everybody who goes to Newhouse and who wants to do what we are doing and what I've been fortunate enough to do for the last 30 years just wants to get in front of a microphone or a camera, right? Point the camera in my direction, hand me a microphone, I'm ready to roll. But what Newhouse taught me and forced me to learn the hard way was you have got to have a fundamental foundation of news and sports writing before you get in front of the camera, because most of the time you're going to end up writing for yourself.
The production is the easy part. The writing, the pre-production, the prepping is the hardest part. And that's really what I'm learning at Newhouse, and that's clearly what you've learned. And you've taken that into your first gig with the New Jersey Nets. Let's go all over your experience there.
Wow, that's a long ways back. And I mentioned how my first job in television was at KFBB TV in Great Falls, Montana. Market 172, by the way, one of the smallest markets out there at the time. But when I did first graduate and I was back home in New Jersey, living at home, the first job in sports media that I got was with a company that is long since defunct called Sports Phone. And I still remember the jingle, and people from my generation would remember it too, because it was on the TVs all the time. For all your sports news instantly, dial 976-1313. It was essentially a line for gamblers. And you paid 99 cents or whatever it was per minute, and you heard a voice on the other end of the phone call reading off all the sports scores from that night. Basically, what I would do is, just like with a radio reporter, I would call a number, I would record an update. Hey, Rich Hollenberg for Sports Phone. The score at the end of 2 quarters, Nets 51, Knicks 49. And, give a couple of updates on who the leading scorer was and so on and so forth. And then after the game, I would go into the locker rooms, I would do interviews. So I was doing everything that I wanted to do. I just wasn't doing it on television at the time. That was my very first immersion into being a sportscaster. And I remember it fondly, and I'm ever grateful to the bosses at Sports Phone for giving me that shot. And ironically enough, a couple of those bosses moved on from Sports Phone into much bigger and better venues. One of them is an executive at MLB Network. One of them went on to work at MSG Network. So there's a pretty strong alumni base from Sports Phone way back in the day.
Well, Rich, from Sports Phone to sports television, you moved on from the Nets to your current job right now, where you work for the Tampa Bay Rays. From cold New Jersey to hot Florida. Talk to me all about your experience with the Rays. You've been working there for over 10 years, so I'm sure you have some moments and memories in mind that you're really proud of.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a sports fan growing up. It's like so many aspiring sportscasters out there. I'm sure that is why they want to be a sportscaster in the first place, right? You live and die sports. And that was me. I followed all the New York sports teams, but I was the kid who knew the statistics and knew the history and knew the trivia and things like that. So that, that's one of the reasons why I still pinch myself that I'm actually working in conjunction with a Major League Baseball team. They are not my employer. I work for Bally Sports, but as someone who covers the team on a day-to-day basis, it's phenomenal to get to know the players and the coaching staff and the front office, as well as I have over the last decade plus. And I've been very fortunate that the Rays have been on a really good run, and it's super fun being in the midst of a pennant race. Obviously, a couple of years ago, they made it all the way to the World Series, albeit in a COVID year. And covering a team like that, it goes without saying that it's exciting. But really, Charlie, if I think about it in the course of this last decade plus, the most memorable moments have come from when I've been on road trips with the team, being on the team flight, getting to know the players away from the game a little bit, and then visiting some of the ballparks that I probably wouldn't have been able to visit even if I made a point of trying to visit all those major league ballparks in my lifetime.
That sounds great. And Rich, from one member of the New House Mafia to one future member of the New House Mafia, I thank you so much for coming on to the show tonight, to Alumni Alley. Thank you so much for all the work you've done in the business. Thank you so much for inspiring a new generation of broadcasters. I know you're not moving to Syracuse anytime soon, but you're always welcome here in the CitrusTV studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, Charlie. It's an honor. I'm putting this right on par with any of the Emmys that I've ever won.
Oh, stop it.
I got to be on Alumni Alley with Charlie Goldberg.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Rich Hollenberg. Wow, how inspiring was that? Once again, here at Alumni Alley, we'd love to thank Rich Hollenberg for coming on the show, and we'd like to thank all of you guys for tuning in. Be sure to tune in to our next episode of Alumni Alley, and be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. We'll be keeping you guys all updated, and we'll see you very soon on Alumni Alley.